This video that I'm doing is definitely a bit different than my other types of videos. I wanted to do some sort of experiment because people enjoyed my Etsy one. So I decided to let my tarot determine my weekend. And the method in which I did this is I pulled a tarot card or looked at whatever one that fell out and taking it at face value and seeing what the tarot card was letting me know what to reflect on for the day. This is Friday, so I figured what better way than to start off this experiment with what intention I'm going for on Friday. Obviously, I still have to go to work, but I think it's a good way to think about things throughout the day. For setting my intention in Friday, I'm using a tarot deck. This tarot deck is entirely new to me, which may or may not be ill-advised, but unfortunately for me, my actual tarot deck seems to have been misplaced, plus a certain number of cards were chewed by my cat, which, you know. So this deck is new to me, so I don't know anything about its personality, but it's very pretty. Let's do some shuffling here. Get it. Oh, fuck. Well, I guess King of Swords is who wanted to fall out today. So, King of Swords is maybe what today will bring, but we shall see. Reading what it says in here, and I have my own tarot interpretation deck called 78 Degrees of Wisdom, which I really, really love, so I'll read that in a second. But the one in the book that the card comes with says, in order to achieve your goal, you must have a clear understanding of the situation as well as a precise plan. Solving the most difficult problems using any means possible and ability to make tough decisions for the sake of the end result. I feel like that is very fitting. I really need to get my act together, especially when it comes to what I want to do with content creation. So that's some good advice. Now let me go pick up 78 Degrees of Wisdom and see what she has to say. This is one of my favorite tarot books of all time. Rachel Pollack is an amazing tarot reader, author, and it just really dives into the symbolism of the tarot cards and also the meanings that you wait, and all of them put into the cards. This page on the king here. As a maintainer of the social structure, the king represents authority, power, and judgment. He takes the mental energy of air and uses it to uphold and rule the world with the keenness of his mind. In his best sense, the King of Swords evokes justice, the card directly beneath the emperor in the major arcana. When he connects with this, the king stands for social justice, wise laws, and above all, a commitment to intellectual honesty and the need to put knowledge into practice. What I'm getting here is I have a lot of logic. All of that, I study a lot, but I need to put it into practice. Let's see what the King of Swords brings for us today and how I can reflect upon that throughout the day. Okay, so just got out of the Planet Fitness, and honestly I was feeling pretty good for most of the day, feeling motivated, feeling that King of Swords energy. And the problem with this particular branch of the gym is that they play the news. I like to consume the news on my own terms. The news is just always depressing. Of course, bad news sells better. Now I just feel anxious and helpless. The King of Swords is a figure of justice and judgment, but he can also be a figure of stubbornness and authoritarianism. That's just on my mind. I'm not really sure what to do about it, but definitely feeling that not that I'm the King of Swords, but the King of Swords is domineering. Anyway, I'm gonna go home and I'll see if I can reclaim my justice at all or reclaim my feeling of control and action. And then I'm gonna play Stardew with my partner and relax. I'm so sweaty right now, but at least the sun is great. Golden hour, shout out. I just got randomly really inspired. I mean, today is Apollo's birthday. I've been trying to celebrate the ancient Greek calendar and I said a lot of prayers to him, and I just suddenly got inspired to just sing, and I just need to do it. So I'm gonna put on a beat, a microphone, and I know, singing is more emotional maybe than the swords, but I don't know, I'm not in my head. All right, let's find a beat. My neighbors are being very loud, so, but whatever. I normally have my headphones on, but I want you guys to kind of see the process. Bro, do you mind? Mommy's busy. The poet stands amongst everyone else. She's just like them, but she looks like hell. She's saying words nobody understands, but I do. 'Cause she's my man. All right, I like that. This one's for Apollo, but I'm really thinking this chorus, even pumpkins appreciative.
The poets dance amongst everyone else. She's just like them, but she looks like hell. She's saying words nobody understands, but I do. 'Cause she's the man. 'Cause she's the man. 'Cause she's the man.
I am also back, yeah. Friday was definitely interesting because that was obviously the start of the weekend, but I'm still working on Fridays. I work until 6 and I get home at like 6:30 or 7 depending. I thought the Friday was very successful. I took this action, I went to the gym, and then at the end I started recording a song. I've noticed recently that I've been trying to incorporate daily prayer, and it's actually made a huge difference in how I experience the world spiritually. I feel a lot more connected, a lot more inspired in that way. I know, I gotta give it up. But I'm cuddling with my little man. Gotta get up, see what the day brings. Alright, good morning. Whoa, like slide out of frame. Let's see what the cards hold for us today. Okay, Saturday was a bit interesting. Oh. I tried shuffling and a bunch of cards fell out, like the Tower and then the Moon. This was my fear going into this. But every time I pulled the Tower, it felt like the Tower, like that the Tower was gonna happen. But 2 other cards fell out, so I'm not sure what this lineup is. That one fell on the ground. These 2 also fell out. The Star and the Moon. How is this supposed to guide my day? Okay, all right. Let's see what's going on here. Wait a minute. I don't think these were shuffled very well because these are all in order. I know I said I didn't want to look at it from a skeptical point of view and be like, oh, well, obviously they're right next to each other, but it was very clearly obvious that like those cards had gotten stuck together because those are literally, they fell out in the order that they are in the original tarot deck. I'm gonna reshuffle. I'm not saying that that can't happen, but this deck was so new. It wasn't highly likely. Also, the Tower, I just don't think it really fit. I'm gonna actually shuffle them like this. And we'll do one more for good measure, because they were really not shuffled because they're brand new. Okay. Alright, these cards are jumpers. The Page of Swords today fell out. These cards are apparently jumpers. This card urges you to be on your guard, vigilant for the secret ill-wishers, a spy, someone who's watching, gathering information, or compromising material. An unreliable person, a traitor, be well prepared for dispute or argument so that you may win. Careful reflection is needed to see through destroyed, unreliable information. But that doesn't feel right. I'm going to a party later, but like I don't know how to follow that card. Okay. Let me reset. Let me sit with them for a while, and because I feel like there's just been things that have just been like not something, like I know maybe it's not the point of the exercise to be like, oh, just tarot card guide my day, but like it's my guide to be suspicious. Let me try actually praying over these cards. The cards feel confused. Instead of shuffling them, I'm gonna lay them out. Alright, 4 of Swords. What the? 4 of Swords. Man, I just keep getting swords. Okay, so this one's reversed. The period of stagnation comes to an end, coming back to work after full recovery, carefully and thoughtfully moving forward, and an untimely need to come back to your routine. Faltering steps due to doubt about your own strength. This image shows not death, but withdrawal. People sometimes respond to difficulties by isolating themselves, literally hiding their houses. Me. Okay, so maybe this was me in the past. but it's reversed now, so things have changed. Withdrawal, however, can lead to healing if the purpose is not to hide but to recoup strength. I definitely have felt that way. Reverse, this card shows a return to the world. Whether this comes from quietly or dramatically depends on the situation. Sometimes the card refers to caution. At other times, the four of reverse can represent other people perceiving and breaking through the fence. The prince coming after Sleeping Beauty. I can work with that. Four of Swords reverse is our card for today. So rest and recovery, coming out of isolation. I was this. That is for sure. I was isolated and trying to withdraw to recoup. But now we are turning it reversed. And honestly, I've been feeling like I've been coming out of my slump. How can I let this reflect for my Saturday? I mean, I think literally going outside, because on my days off, I tend to hole up in my apartment unless I absolutely have to, or unless some social obligation takes me outside. We might try going outside to break out of the upright withdrawal. Thank you for your lessons, Four of Swords reverse. Let's go take a shower and let's try going outside on a Saturday when I usually stay inside and don't do anything. It's a good lesson to take forward, and maybe taking forward from yesterday's King of Swords, that action. Look at me, I'm about ready to actually go outside. I'm just realizing that this calendar is incorrect. I'm doing overnight curls. I have a party, as I mentioned I'm going to, and I now have really shaggy hair, so I want it to be really nicely curled. Here's August, finally. I'm gonna get ready to go soon. Got my sunscreen on and all clean and showered up. So nice and bright. Not too cold, not too hot. Here we go, gets my coffee and get some work done. That's why tarot card was right. Got a bit of an argument on TikTok, which is part of the reason why I wasn't doing it. But you know, like I asked for it. I posted a kind of spicy take about Demeter and how we shouldn't portray her as overbearing because that erases the narratives of many ancient Greek women and mothers. Heading to the party now. Got to take my hair down. I'm a little bit nervous, but you know, I'm going out there or get out of that slump. I got out of the house. That's a win, even if it is a social obligation. That's all I have to say. I'll wet them and we'll see what happens. These guys look good. Even just like knowing with what happened in the day where I went viral on TikTok, I think the Page of Swords, in a sense, did actually end up foreshadowing what kind of happened for the day in terms of watching my back. Four of Swords reverse, I think, definitely really did land for me that day. Obviously, I've talked a lot about how I've been kind of holed up, and it's not that I'm depressed, but I definitely have been isolating myself. It feels safe. I pushed myself. I went to a PowerPoint party, which ended up being a lot of fun. It was good to be able to remind myself that I am good at talking to people I don't know. And I'm not this super awkward person that I used to be, and that I've done a lot of work to learn how to be comfortable with myself and how to push myself to actually make conversation. I ended up getting a lot of work done at the cafe that I went to earlier. That's where I made the TikTok that went viral. But I did a lot of work on the back end YouTube stuff that felt really, really good. That evening I ended up talking with a friend. I've been trying to reach out to friends more and not just stay inside my apartment. All right, things are a little chaotic this morning. I had to feed my friend's cat, feed my own cat. And then, well, yesterday I sort of blew up on TikTok. So maybe the initial like swords I got, the Page of Swords, like watch your back. Maybe that tarot card was right. Oh man, I got so many comments. It's been like less than 24 hours and I have over 10,000 views and like over 100 comments. It's all about Demeter and Persephone. It's not right to represent Demeter as overbearing because, like, one, that's not really attested to in myth, and two, it completely overwrites the importance that Demeter and Persephone have together. They are worshipped together. Their love for each other is well documented. I think people just don't understand, right? Like, of course, I don't hate Hades. I don't think he's evil. I don't think any god is evil. That's not the point. But I think oh, hi, Pumpkin. People who are not used to the sort of dichotomy you have to get used to with myth, I don't think they understand that. You can see it as a love story if you want, but don't justify your love story by making Demeter a villain, because that's not feminism, bro. People be like, this is a feminist retelling of Persephone, and then like it's just a love story and the woman becomes the villain. But anyway, okay, that's rant over. I I've been nonstop talking about it because of that. So anyway, that was kind of crazy, and now I gotta run. I've got like 10 minutes to make my breakfast. Already kind of done like a lot of stuff this morning. I mean, by a lot of stuff, I got dressed, took my meds, fed my cat, fed my friend's cat, answered a million TikTok stuff. This is not treats. This isn't treat. This isn't treats. I've already done way too much shit this morning, and I haven't even pulled my card yet. So, okay, I like the method I did yesterday. And, oh, I'm showing you all the cards. I guess I can spread them here. All right, don't tell me what's in here. I won't look at the screen. Which one do I want? Let's pick you. Justice upside down. Okay. Justice reverse. Let's see what this has to say about Justice reverse. This is our first major arcana. Maybe the Justice reverse is that I get freaking slammed in TikTok comments. That's okay. The Hellenic polytheists found me and are doing you guys are doing the gods' work in the comments. Broken engagements, dishonesty, breaking the law, lawlessness, gaining what you want by dubious methods, unfair punishment, stability shattered. Be very careful, don't get involved in any dishonest or illegal behavior, and beware of unscrupulous people, okay? I don't know about that, but let's see what Rachel has to say here. Reverse, the card indicates dishonesty with yourself and others. It shows an unwillingness to see the meaning of events and shows especially what you are missing. Some opportunity for a greater understanding of yourself and your life. On the other level, it indicates dishonesty and unfair actions or decisions. Sometimes there's others who are unfair to us. We must not allow the suggestion of unfairness to act as an excuse for denying our own responsibility for what happens to us. Justice reverse sometimes reflects the attitude. It is unfair, like how everybody treats me, and so on. Whether the right way up or reverse the clear as a justice sends us an overwhelming message. In the words of Emerson, nothing can save you but yourself. Now that's interesting. I don't want to get too much into personal details, but the job I'm about to head to, again, I don't really want to get personal about it, but there was some drama, somewhat of management, bureaucracy kind. So perhaps that's telling me to, I don't know, look at it with a different lens. We'll see. It's gonna be an interesting day walking into this job. So maybe it is more relatable than I expect. My brain's just like in content creation TikTok mode, but like obviously the cards are maybe talking to me about my real life situations and real life drama and bureaucracy and all that's currently going on in my life. So actually, you know what? Justice reversed. That's something I can think about. How can I help this company move forward instead of just lingering in this is unfair? I don't know. We'll check in later. There's my little man over there. TikTok's overwhelming. That's all I gotta say. Sunday with Justice reversed. Obviously, I was a little bit coy with this one. I did realize that it was referring to personal things that were happening at that particular job, and I don't really want to get into them publicly on the internet, but I do still feel that was emblematic for my day. I went in with a compassionate attitude towards upper management and bureaucracy, and figuring out, as someone who has been at this job for 7 years, what I say has a lot of merit, not just amongst upper management, but amongst the staff in general. In a smaller company, you do have the opportunity, right? You're not raging against this faceless CEO. You do know the head of the company. I felt like I had power to be able to speak and make a difference. And I do feel, after conversations that I had that day, that it was kind of telling me to keep on this path and keep fighting, but make sure you remember what you're fighting for and that it's not just about fighting. I guess tarot is not about the video. The tarot is about me and my life and how to integrate like my own will into making the world a better place or making my job a better place. So anyway, that was my experience using tarot to guide my weekend. I gotta say, with using tarot, sometimes I get really nervous with the tower. I have been tempted at times to remove it from the deck. Just because, as I mentioned in the video, whenever I have felt that the tower was actually about to happen, like I knew it was coming. The one exception was with COVID. I pulled the tower during my yearly spread. I thought it was about a relationship at the time. It was about COVID. I do really like this deck. I'm very upset that like my deck has been kind of, you know, you can't just buy a single tarot card. Like one of my tarot cards, one of the cards is missing and one of the cards has been destroyed by a certain cat. But I do really enjoy this card. I think this deck, the personality that it showed me. First of all, major jumpers. I wasn't even shuffling that badly. It's just, I think it's because the cards are bigger than my fingers, so I think that just naturally means that they're gonna jump a little bit more. They're very hot and like ready. I'd like to experiment with these cards a little bit more. It reminded me how much I do enjoy tarot though. So with that, thank you for watching this video. I mean, have you ever done something like this? Have you ever let tarot like guide your day-to-day? I'm just curious how people use it to guide their day-to-day. Like obviously if you pull a card like Page of Swords, how is that gonna guide your day-to-day? Do you disagree with me? Do you think I should have left the Tower and the Star and the Moon in that spread, the Page of Swords, and not reshuffled? Or do you think, you know, it's okay to approach divination with the skeptic's mindset? Obviously, not that I don't think that skepticism is a good thing, but sometimes it's good to take things at face value and really see what you can get out of it. What do you think about that? What's your favorite method of divination? Do you have a favorite tarot deck? Like I said, I don't want to say I'm boring, but like I really love the Rider-Waite, I think. Creme de la creme. Anyway, with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Shout out to my patrons $5 and up: Anarcho Witch, Annie Nagel, Ikeda Hakubi, Little Raven, Michius Porcius, Thistle, and Tiny App.